Hello, my name is Stefan. I'm a PM on the Remote Desktop Services team. What I want to show you today is something that I can foresee being very useful for MSIX App Attach. That's a feature of Windows Virtual Desktop where we are allowing dynamic delivery of applications, and particularly the situation where you need to deliver two different versions of the same application. So the way you can do that today with traditionally installed applications that are in the image, you kind of assume that two different versions of the same application can be run side by side. That is not always the case. With MSIX, the packaging format, we cannot do that. The moment two versions of the same application are delivered, by default, the components in Windows that manage MSX will only allow you to start the later version. Of course, there are PowerShell and ways you can get back to the older version, but you can only run one version at a time. Where I'm going to show this is by going into one of my demo machines. And here on my demo machine, hopefully you can see that I have two versions of FileZilla, 350 and 351. So what I'm going to do now is, since they're MSIXs that I've prepared myself, I'm going to go and install the first one, the 350. So this is going to be, okay, yeah, I messed up something with repackaging. Regardless, you can see the application starts, and there is not much going on here, right? Just working fine. Now, the curious part will be the next phase when we go and do the get apex package. And since this is a PowerShell command, obviously I'm going to go into PowerShell. And you can see here I have one version of the package, the 350. Now let's go ahead and install the 351. And yeah, we have it here, right? The way FileZilla works. Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna, you can see, I get to update. I don't get to be able to just like run them side by side, right? Even let's say we do the installation, yeah, they will again, right? Nothing changes here. Now let's go run the PowerShell again, same command. And you can see that it updated 351. It doesn't even ask me, it doesn't allow me. This is not because the installer doesn't allow it, like the FileZilla installer, it's just because MSX doesn't allow it. We have this concept of the package family name, and this way we know, if you notice between the 350 version and the 351 version, this is how the operating system knows that this is the same application, just different versions. Now, the way we go around this is by modifying the package family name. And I'll show you a way to do that. So here I'm gonna grab the 351, let's say, doesn't really matter. I created a copy of it. I'm gonna go right click, edit with the MSX packaging tool. Obviously, I have to have this tool installed. Yeah, sure. And here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this one changed. Sorry, the package name. So by changing the package name, this will automatically change everything else, the package family name, etc., etc., etc. So I'm gonna save that. Yes, I want to increment it, and I'm gonna save it as changed on the desktop. Okay. It's gonna take about a minute. Done. Okay. Closing the packaging to closing FileZilla. So where we are, we have one FileZilla installed. No surprise. And based on what we see here in our PowerShell, that is the 351 version. Now, we created the changed version right here. And this one is 351.1 because we incremented the count with 1. So let's go run that. And you can see now that the behavior is different. It actually allows me to install. It's treating it as a separate application. So we're going to go continue with the install. I'll probably still get that error. No, didn't get it. Okay, awesome. Okay, we have a FileZilla, and you're like, yeah, there's nothing really interesting here. Well, first of all, we, due to artifacts of packaging and not really thinking through this, but we actually have two versions of files here. And you'll be saying, no, you don't. This is the same application running twice. And I can come here and same PowerShell, remember? It was always returning 1. I'm going to run it. Now I have two packages, two MSIX packages. Same application inside, same version, right? Well, it's telling us 351 and 351.1, but if you actually look in here, you can see 351, 351, and you'll be like, this is insane. Like, how do you confirm that this is not the same application? Well, let's do this, right? Click on uninstall. Okay, and you can see this goes into files changed. So this will remove the changed application. I don't want to reboot now. Back here, we got 2. And we'll give it a minute. We'll pick it. Okay, and yeah, I was just a little bit too fast. And you can see now that I have one version of the application. We'll go here, one version, and this is the running version. And we can take it a step further and do 350, right? Oh, we can't because it's there. Why? Because we have the same family name, right? So let's go ahead and install this application. The way we do it, since it's a modern app, we have to come here and say uninstall. Okay, so right now we are in the state of no file 0 whatsoever. So now we're gonna install the 350 by clicking the 350 installer. Okay, this time saying like I'm gonna install, I have nothing behind, which is true. Okay, yeah, I know. And then here you can see the application is somewhat running. Now let's go run the changed one, right? And the changed one is 351 again. This is a separate application. Okay, so we have, oops, I by accident minimized it. So we have two different versions of the same application, maybe. Let's go check this. About 351, okay, and this should be 350. Let's go into apps, features. Do we have two file zeros? Yes. What's the difference? If you go into advanced options, 350 and 351.1. So yeah, this is, I guess, a better proof of having the same application as MSIX, but due to the fact that we changed the package family name, we are able to deliver this application twice and it's running. And that's about it. Now, disclaimer, you saw the error, and I just noticed that the error is due to the two applications probably sharing a file. Bad packaging on my part. I should have included that file in the container in the MSIX. But that was something I'll show how to do in a different video. Awesome. Thank you for your time.